Hi everyone. Thanks for enrolling my courses over YouTube and over Udemy channels. Now I have partnership with Unacademy Graphy, and you can go to networkers.graphic.com where you can get my latest courses on automation. As you know that the next big thing we have in the networking field is automation and cloud computing. So courses related to automation, courses related to cloud computing, you will get on this particular Unacademy Graphy platform. Thanks for joining. We are inside day number 11 and today we are going to learn policy. This is policy part 2. Yesterday, I mean, in previous class, we have discussed about the policy, what types of policy, and then again subtypes of policies. Then Uh, the construct of policy. So we know that we have three different construct or three phases of policy. You have to go and define the interesting traffic. Then you have to go and define either it's a control policy or data policy. And then finally, you're applying that policy. So we have one very nice slide that you can refer for this particular item. Let me quickly go and show you this here in the slide. So this particular slide is actually very interesting. It will tell you that you can go and define these different type of list, and then you have to go and define the policy, so data policy or control policy, and then you can go and apply it. Now when we are talking about list, there are different type of list, and what we will do slowly we'll try to understand. So we have data prefix list and we have prefix list. Now the data prefix list is a prefix list only, like in Cisco we have prefix list, but this should be used inside the data policy. That's why we have this data here. If you have control policy and you want to define some sort of prefix, then you have to use flat prefix. This is going to use with control policy. Then site list, obviously, a site list, the significance of site list is that whenever you apply the policy, you have to apply the policy with respect to site list. T-lock list, we know that in loose term, T-lock is working as a next hop. So if you want to do some next hop type of changes, some manipulation in the traffic pattern, you can go and set the next hop, like we are setting the next hop. Actually, if you see that route map in Cisco, you'll find that you can go and use the command within the route map, set IPv6 or IPv4 next hop, and then the IP. So the T-lock list is also like that. Like we are setting the next hop for the prefixes. VPN list is also interesting because VPN is actually the VRF. So if you want to do some route leaking, etc., you can go and utilize this list to create the policy. Okay, so what we are going to do today will not go in all these details because at the moment you'll go and start working, creating the policies, and slowly you build your memory map and all, you will understand all these terms. The moment you'll work on this, you'll understand. Now what you should consider here is this, that phase number A, B, C. Phase number A is this one, that you have to go and define the interesting traffic. This is actually A part. Then part number 2, phase number B, is that you have to go and choose that what type of policy you're writing. You're writing the control policy or data policy. So we know that term called MAD, match and take action. And by the end of road, you have one default action that will be reject. We can go and make this as a accept as well. So this policy, you have to go and define sequence 10, sequence 20, sequence 30, 40, etc. In all the sequence, for example, sequence number 10, match statement and then action. And once your all these match, the sequence number will get ended, then you have this default action, either accept or reject. Right. So what we'll do, knowing these things that we have studied in previous class and today, we are going to create one control policy today, a very simple one, and we'll see the power of the policies that we have in the fabric. Suppose you have two branch 1 and branch 2, right? And you have DC, one data center. Now, the branch 1, we know that the default in the fabric is this. At the moment you'll go and bring up the fabric, they will go and form the IPsec tunnel in between. So they have this IPsec tunnel. Why? Because these devices, they are sending their T-lock information to VSmart, and then VSmart is exchanging the T-lock information to everyone. So the VSmart will tell the next hop information of branch 1, next hop information to branch 2. Likewise, the branch 1 knowing the next hop information for DC, next hop information for branch 2, and likewise he knows the next hop for DC and branch 1. Now somehow, suppose there is one requirement that you don't want this branch to branch tunnel. You want that your traffic should go to the data center first and then it reach to the other side. Now this type of topology is termed as a hub and a spoke. So what we want, that all the spoke side, they should go and communicate with the hub first and then it reach to other spoke. The spoke to spoke communication we want to break. Now how we can achieve this target? We can go and achieve this target while blocking this T-lock information. So what we can do, that we can go to the VSmart and we will tell the VSmart, do not, branch 1, do not send the branch to T-lock. Then VSmart, branch number 2, do not send branch number 1 T-lock. So suppose if branch 2 does not know the T-lock of branch 1, branch 1 does not know the T-lock of branch 2, they will not form the IPsec tunnel directly. Any doubt in this logic? Straightforward, right? Now you may ask that, do we have any other technique to block this IPsec tunnel? Yes, we have other techniques as well. But today we will check this simple one. Later on, we'll add the complexity in this. Okay. All right. So this is one of the simple technique. But suppose if you think that, oh, there may be other technique. Yeah, other technique is this, that for branch 1 or all the branches, you set the next hop to the DC. And in the other line, you in the default statement, you put that default, everything default block or reject. So there is other method as well, that next hop you will set for all the branches, the next hop or the T-lock should be DC. That we'll see in later on, maybe tomorrow. But today, let's stick with the blockage of the T-lock. We are going to block the T-lock. Okay, so let's do it. Let's go to the lab. Now, when you first use this lab, you will find that you have only 4 devices. Let's see what devices we have. So I can see, okay, so DC devices and CS. So there is no branch 2 here. So if you are doing this lab first time, what you need to do, this is the lab setup here. You simply double click this. This will bring up the tunnel interface for branch number 2. Just double click and leave it. Then you should go to the device, and here you can see that configuration and template. So there is one device template for branch number 2, the top one. Nothing is attached with that. You can go and click attach, and then this serial number, chassis ID that you are saying, that is actually for branch number 2. Click attach. Now you have to go and fill out the variables here. So you can see that, let's see if all the variables are there in place. Oh, seems all the variables are there in the place, but still you do one thing, that you upload the variables, correct variables. So if you click this upload button, it will ask you to the CSV file, and that is, I think, there in the desktop SD-WAN demo folder. You can see CSV config branch to template. Upload that and then click next. Next, configure device. So this way, this branch 2 will come online. It will take some time. Meanwhile, let's go and create our policy. So if you want to create the policy, you have to go to the configuration, and you can see this below template, you have this policies tab. Click there. Now you can see the centralized policy and localized policy. We'll check localized policy later on. And there are so many pre-built, just for our study purpose, we have some pre-built policies. But these pre-built policy, you can see they are not activated. Activation is false. Unless you will see true here, keyword true. So that means none of the policies is in function. What we want to do, we want to create our policy. So on top, you can see that custom option. Click there. You will see centralized policy, localized policy. Now we are focusing on centralized policy and their component. I told you 3 component. Component 1, define the list. Component 2, topology means control policy. And again, I will show you how to create the data policy later on, and then you have to apply. So first of all, let's go and define the list. What is the interesting traffic? We want to write the policies. Now here you can see that there are so many different application list, app list. Later on, we will see that. And Cisco has added some custom application and cloud discovered applications, etc. Then you can see that we can go and create the color list. We can go and define some sort of community. We can go and define the data prefix list. This will be used for data policy. We will see later on. We can go and define some QoS parameters as policies. Then we have prefix that will be used for the control policy. We can go and create the site list. We have this app probe classes as well, basically used inside the application probing, basically for this application aware routing when we want to create. We have this SLA class. Again, this is going to use in the application aware routing policy. Later on, we'll see that. We have this next hop feature, T-log feature. This also we are going to use in upcoming classes. We have this option called VPN, and then they have added newly this region as well. So now what we want to do, let's go to the site, and I'll go and create the list related to site. So let's go here, click, say I'll go and create branch 1, because maybe branch 1 and 2, that same name will be there. But in our lab, we have DC, whose site ID is 100, branch 1 site ID 300, branch 2 site ID is 400, like that. So let's go and create branch 1. Now you can see branch 1 is created. Then we'll go and create one more, because these things we want to use in our policy. Branch 2 is 400. Then I'll go and create one more, branch 1 and branch 2, and I can go and give the number 300, 400, because this policy actually I want to apply for both the branches. Now we have created the interesting graphic. Now let's go and create the policy, the control policy. So again, you can go to custom policy and click to this place, topology. Once you are inside the topology, you can see we have option called add topology. You can define Cisco specific hub and spoke. No need to do anything. Just go there and give who is the site IP, who is the hub IP, who is the site IP, and Cisco will take care. Like miss template also they are giving, and then we have this custom. So we want to use our custom because we want to define our policy, custom control policy, route and TLOC. This will be hub and spoke policy. This is my control policy. Like that, you can give any logical name. Now, when you are coming to this particular page, that means here you have to go and create the policy. You can see the sequence type, and then you have this match statement, match and take action. But before doing that, what we are doing generally, we are going to this default action first, and default action is accept. So I will save that first, and then we can go to this sequence type. Click here. We have two options. We want to match the route or TLOC. At the moment, I want to match the TLOC because I want to block the TLOC. So let's click the sequence rule, match. Already we are inside the TLOC. So again, no need to match the TLOC. Now you go and match the site. Although we can call the site that we have created, branch 1 and branch 2. Or suppose if you don't want to do, you can give the number here as well, like 300. That's almost same. Or suppose you want to create that site list from here, so you can click here. You can see this drop down menu, and there in bottom you have create the new site list. From here itself you can go and create test 111. Just I'm giving one name, hypothetical name, just to show you that we are creating one. And now if you see here, you will see that test 111, right? So let's check this branch 1 because we have already created it. Then we want to take action. See, by default action will be reject. So the TLOC for branch 1, reject. I can save this. And now something like if you want to make this policy look beautiful, so you can click here. This is one of the editable item. You can edit this. I can go and give the name here, block branch 1 TLOC. That's the name. Now what you can do here, click here, you can see, click here, you can click copy. So you can see one other policy below, copy policy is coming, and then I can rename this policy. You have this option, click rename, and so you can go and rename this branch to TLOC like this. Now you have this branch too, but it's because this is copy paste, so it will show you branch 1 here. What you do, you have this pencil icon, click this pencil, and instead of branch 1, make this branch 2 and save it. Okay, so you can see that you have one policy here, you have other policy here, then you have default policy. Now this way you can go and save and apply this policy. Or generally you will see that people, they are using this strategy. I'll rename this TLOC. So people, what they are doing that here itself, they are creating one policy to block the branch 1, and then again they are clicking this sequence rule. Or you have this option called copy. You can click copy and then you can click edit. So now this time you can go and put here branch 2, save it. So now you can see that you have branch 1, branch 2 policy in the same name and the sequence. Now the earlier approach that I have shown you, that is almost 100% same, but here you are defining in this list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here in the same container format you are defining, although the result will be the same. Okay, so now we have these two policies within one policy, two statements, sorry, sequence 1 and sequence 2. We can click save. So now what we have done, that we have created the list, we have created the control policy. Now everything we have to go and assemble within the centralized policy. So let's go here to the centralized policy. Once you are here, then click add policy, and the same thing it is asking. Click next. Now this is the group of interest. Then you have to go and define the control policy. The second option is actually the control policy, and then the third option is data policy, and then finally you have to apply it. So because we have created our policy, we can go and click import the existing topology, that is control policy, and that policy name is hub and spoke. This is our policy, hub and spoke policy control. So we can click import here. Now you can see our policy is here imported. Now we can go next. This page belongs to data policy. You can see application aware, traffic data, cFloat, all these are data policy. Then finally, we can go and apply this policy. So this is hub and spoke global policy, and then topology. So where you want to apply this, which site or which region? So we want to apply this to the outbound direction, means the flow is from vSmart to the branches, outbound direction of branch 1 and branch 2. You can click add. And now finally, if you want to see the CLI equivalence of this, you can click preview. And now it will tell you about the policy. So now you can see that we have policy called hub and spoke. Sequence number 1, match the T-lock for branch 1, reject. Sequence number 11, match the T-lock for branch 2, reject. Default action is accept everything. Then this is the list that we have created, branch 1, branch 2, and branch 1 and 2. And then we have applied this policy to the outward direction of branch 1 and branch 2. So here you can see the construct number 1, traffic, interesting traffic. Construct number 2, policy. Construct number 3, apply it. We can click save policy. Now, is this policy get applied? So answer is no, because if you go and check the status of this policy, that is in the bottom, this policy that we have created, it is false. So you click here that 3 dots and click activate. So it will go and push to the, so you can see we have created the policy in the vManage. Now we are pushing to the vSmart, and then vSmart will go and push to the, actually it will go and push to the branches where you have applied. So we have applied to branch 1 and branch 2 because this is a control policy. So branches will not download this policy, but it will be there. It will be flowing as a OMP update from the vSmart to the edge devices. It's like that. So great. Why not we should log in to the vSmart and verify it. So let me quickly go and log in to the vSmart. So here we are inside the vSmart. If you go and check show run policy, you can see that this is the policy that we created. And if you go and do show run apply policy, so here we are applying this policy. Okay. Now what we can do, since we have activated this policy, so let's go to where is branch to VH. Okay. See, show IPsec inbound or outbound connection. Now we'll see that they have the IPsec tunnel only with the data center. 10.1 is data center TLOC. 10.2 is also data center. 10.3 is branch number 1 and 10.4 is branch number 2. So if I go and check my system IP, my system IP is 10.4 that it is showing here, local TLOC, and remote TLOC means remote next hop is these IPs. Now if we go and deactivate this policy, so let's go here, and if we go and we go to the policies, and here we are, click deactivate. That means we are removing the policy. And if you go and deactivate the policy, you will see that your inbound or outbound connection, they have the IPsec tunnel with the other branches as well. That is 10.3. And you can see everything is towards data center. Now we have the branch to branch tunnel as well. Now the only problem with such type of policy, such type of loose policy is this. If you go and check show MP routes, let me do this. If you go and check the show MP routes, you'll see that so at the moment we are getting all the routes, so that's fine. I need to go there one more time just to activate this policy, and then we'll see the drawback with this strategy. So we are here, click activate. You will see so many routes that will show you invalid. At the moment, we should know these indicators as well. What is C, what is I, what is R. So if you see the legends, it will tell you that C is chosen, I is installed. So we are checking the OMP routes. Now, if these OMP routes are the best route, they will get installed in the routing table, right? So we have OMP table, we have routing table, and then we have the FIB table, IP to next hop table. That is nothing, that is mostly that's the TLOC routes. And then you can see if you see rejected, that means I'm getting those things from vSmart. All these OMP routes from where we are getting. So this device is getting from the vSmart to vEdge, right? Now if you go here and if you see, you will see that invalid, unresolved. So it is telling that the routes that I am getting from the branch number 3, why they are invalid, unresolved, because I don't know. So vSmart is not telling me that what is the next hop for these prefixes. Since I do not know the next hop, so I can see so many invalid, unresolved routes within the OMP table, and that's the reason if you go and do show IP route, obviously this will not get installed in the routing table. So whatever routing update you have, you are getting from the next hop as a data center, because the traffic is diverted towards the DC and vice versa. Right? Any doubt in this?
No doubts.
Great, simple, right? So you have to go and do practice to create this policy. Hardly it will take 5 to 10 minutes, but you should go and create the policy. And once you create the policy, make sure that these verification steps like show IPsec inbound or outbound connection, etc. So it will tell you that now you have next hop you are seeing only as a DC. Okay. All right, great. So now it will be little bit more visible that what we are talking, that when we are creating the policy, so we should define the list, create the policy, and then apply it to the site. So these three stages we are using. And then we obviously we have the direction in, out, out, in. We know the meaning of out and in. Okay. And then what we have done that with respect to these examples that we have here, we have created the policy and then we have applied it and we have seen the result as well. Control policy is unidirectional that we have discussed 4 or 5 times. All right. So now what we have to do, likewise, we'll go and do the lab in the upcoming sessions. We'll go and do two labs. So 2 labs related to control policy. Again, 2 labs related to data policy, or 3 4 labs related. Means in a single session, we'll do the 2 labs and we'll try to understand what we are achieving with those labs. So today we have done hub and spoke, but next day we'll go and do one very interesting lab, that is hub and spoke with segmentation. So now think like this. It's a very interesting use case. I will explain the use case now, but we will do the lab in the next session. So what we want to achieve in our next lab, that suppose you have DC and branch devices. Now what I want here is this, that for, so here we have defined VPN 100 or VRF 100, and then we have VPN 200. So what we want, that for VPN 100, and here you have firewall as well. So VPN 100 traffic should go to the firewall and then it reach to the destination. Okay. But for VPN 200, you should have this type of topology. So now you can see here clearly that we are supporting segmented VPN. That means one of the VPN, that is VPN 100, is using hub and spoke plus firewall redirection type of thing, and VPN 200 is using full mesh, right? It is full mesh. That means that if I have some other device as well in a network, suppose I have branch 3 as well, and if we are enabling the full mesh, that means this type of thing will happen, right? But for branch 3 also, the traffic will go to the DC for the VPN 100. Now only we are taking example for only 2 or 3 branches, but think if you have 200 branches, and if you have 5 or 6 different type of VPN, so few of the VPN they are following hub and spoke, few of the VPNs they are doing local exit, few of the VPNs they are using partial mesh, few of the VPN they are doing full mesh. So now you can see the the advantage of this segmentation that you can do with help of very less configuration items. That is actually very difficult to achieve with respect to IWAN, with respect to DMVPN. Although you can do it, but you have to create so many VRFs, too much configuration, mapping the configuration and all. Here it's like within 10 minutes you can do it. Okay, so in the next class, we'll do the lab related to segmented VPN. And then we will do one more lab tomorrow, that is route leaking. So what is the use case for route leaking? Again, oops. So these two labs we are going to perform in tomorrow's session. Let me quickly draw here the lab number 2 that will perform tomorrow. Is this, suppose again same type of topology, simple one, DC and branch 1 and branch 2. Suppose in branch 1 I have two VPN, VPN 100 and VPN 200. Here also we have two VPN, VPN 100 and 200. But within the branch or outside the branch, these VPNs, 100 can't talk to 200 like that, but 100 can communicate to 100 this side and 200 can communicate to 200 this side. That's the nature we have, right? They will do the communication. But what if you want this 100 to do the communication with this 200? Here if you want. By default this is not, but with help of route leaking, we can create the policy. Okay, so I will show you that again within very few minutes you can go and do this route leaking, import and export of routes, and we'll achieve this target as well. So these two labs, these control labs we will do in tomorrow session. Meanwhile, if you have any question, please feel free to ask. Hi there. Thanks for your enrollment. We are in 1 minute ad break. In this break, I'm going to show you that I have so many courses uploaded over Udemy. And if you're going to enroll my courses, you will get 95% discount. Every month, 3 times. First week, mid of the month, and the last week of the month. I am sharing the coupons. If you go and use those coupons, then my courses related to CCNP, related to CCI, all those courses, you are going to get heavy discount up to 95%. You can see the prices are a little bit higher here, but if you go and apply the coupon, the prices will go rock bottom. So go use those coupons. Suppose if you don't have those coupons, then you can always ping me over YouTube. You can send me email. You can ask for those coupons. I will provide you that coupon. So get the coupon, get the discount. Some of my courses over Udemy, they are bestseller. Some of the courses are quite new, like SD-WAN automation, DNA automation, CCI data center 3.0. Those are the new uploads as well. So please go, continue your learning, take the coupon, enroll my courses, and study well. All the best.